their duties. From the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control in Rivers said it has uncovered a group distributing suspected fake drugs to the public in the name of evangelism. Mr. Chukwuma Olibo, NAFDAC South Zonal Director, said at a media briefing in Port Harcourt on Monday that the group was struck down to a Luboma community town hall. Olibo disclosed that a member of the group was apprehended while administering one of the suspected fake drugs on members of the public. He further said that the products were evacuated to NAFDAC office for further investigations and documentation. NAFDAC officials said that the group was distributing unregistered eye drops, bottled water, cleanser, tablets, amongst others, to the public. Away from that, stories that made the headlines on Monday, the Obedient Movement denied reports that its principal, Peter Obi, has been offered the running mate position to Atiku Abubakar in the 2027 coalition. According to the movement, these reports are baseless and speculative, and they emphasize that Obi's objective in any coalition would be to tackle issues like bad governance, corruption, poverty, and poor health care. This is contained in a statement signed on Monday by Nana Kazaro, Director, Strategic Committee, retained all economic parameters from the first quarter, including the interest rate at 27.50%. The announcement was made by CBN Governor Oluyemi Cardoso after the committee's meeting held on May 19th and 20th. The committee had in its 299th meeting held on 19th and 20th of February 2025 decided to retain the NPR at 27.50%, retain the asymmetric corridor around the NPR at plus 500 minus 100 basis points, retain the cash reserve ratio of deposit money banks at 50%, in merchant banks at 16%, and retain the liquidity ratio at 30%. While relating the decisions of MPC on Tuesday, had also reaffirmed the National Bureau of Statistics inflation rate of April, pegged at 23.71%. According to MBS, the annual inflation rate fell on 23.71% in April 2025 from 24.23%. In Paramount, food inflation, the largest component of the inflation basket, remained evaluated but moderated at 21.26% from 21.79% in March, mainly on account of prices of some items such as maize, wheat, and yam. Away from that, President Bola Tinubu approved the training of over 5 million workers from both public and private sectors in the use and deployment of artificial intelligence to enhance Nigerians' gross domestic product and strengthen national security. The ambitious training program will be implemented over the next 3 years by Digital Bridge Institute under the supervision of the Ministry of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy, led by Dr. Bosu Tijani. President and CEO of DBI, Mr. David Dassau, announced the initiative on Tuesday during the Institute's 21st anniversary celebration held at the Digital Economic Complex, Mboro, Abuja. Dassau commended President Tinubu's, Minister Tijani, and Executive Vice Chairman of the Nigerian Communication Commission, Dr. Aminu Wadamedi, for their forward-thinking approach to integrating AI into Nigeria's development strategy. Senate President Godswill Akpabio on Tuesday tasked West African countries on unity and economic stability to foster growth and development in the sub-region. Akpabio made this call in his speech during the first ordinary section of the Economic Community of West African States Parliament in Abuja. In his address titled One Region, One Dream, Advancing the Promise of West Africa, the Senate President said even if physical land borders divide the lands, they must never divide their purpose. Akpabio urged the ECOWAS Parliament to use the opportunity of convening Abuja to renew their pledge to build a united West African where the region economies would thrive, culture flourish, and children inherit a legacy of peace, prosperity, and unshakable unity. Now, so stories in the Green Chamber House of Representatives on Tuesday asked federal government to put in place adequate regulatory measures for importations of foreign textiles into the country to rejuvenate the productions of local textile materials and boost local economy. Adopting a motion by Garba Ibrahim Mohammed, the House also asked government to collaborate with Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment to provide necessary facilities, especially power supply, to local textile manufacturing companies to enhance quality outputs. In addition, the House at the Federal Ministry of Finance, Industry and Trade and Investment and other related agencies to encourage local textiles by providing soft loans and easy access to credit facilities through the Bank of Industry, while asking its Committee on Industry and Commerce to conduct public hearing with relevant stakeholders in textile sector to review challenges of Moribund textiles sector. Minister of Works, Senator David Umahi, said all the governors in the Southeast region are supporting President Bola Tinubu, urging the undecided, such as former Governor Peter Obi, to join the train. He also said a section of Lagos-Calabar coastal highway is near completion and that users will have to pay a toll starting in December. Senator Umahi disclosed this in a future interview for an upcoming State House documentary marking President Tinubu's second anniversary. Umahi said that all Southeast governors support President Bola Tinubu's administration regardless of their political affiliation. Federal Capital Territory Executive Committee has approved a 2.6 billion naira for 3 waste management projects in the capital city. Chief Felix Obo, coordinator, Abuja Metropolitan Management Council, disclosed this in Abuja on Tuesday while briefing journalists about the committee's meeting chaired by FCT Minister Nyesom Wike. The coordinator said that 3 projects were approved at a cost of about 2.6 billion naira. Chief of Staff to the FCT Minister, Mr. Chidi Amadi, explained that 13 memos were submitted for consideration, out of which 9 were examined and approved, while 3 were stepped down for technical reasons. And on that note, we end the stories that was in the news for Tuesday as we look at stories that made the headline for Wednesday. President Bola Tinubu on Wednesday congratulated 2 British Nigerians of Amy Bryce and Jason Jackson on their elections and inaugurations as mayor in London. The president, in a statement by presidential spokesperson Bayo Nonoga on Wednesday, commended Bryce and Jackson for sustaining the legacy of good works by Nigerians in diaspora. Tinubu also commended them for consistently promoting the values of honesty, integrity, hard work, and commitment to the well-being of others. According to the president, your stories will inspire countless young people, both at home and in diaspora, to pursue excellence and serve their communities with distinction. Away from that, following a motion on the need to address the non-payment of pensions, increment and withholding of approved palliative by the federal government, the House of Representatives has called for immediate implementation of all approved pension increment. The House further urged the Federal Ministry of Finance to release all withheld palliative measures and ensure timely disbursement to alleviate the suffering of pensioners. Honorable Ibrahim Ishaka, who moved the motion, drew the attention of the House to the approval in 2023 by the President for 25,000 wage award palliative and an additional 32,000 pension increase for federal pensioners. Meanwhile, after considering a separate motion, the House of Representatives for the resolve to investigate operational license related to driver's license, issuance, revenue generations, and usage within the last 2 years. The motion, sponsored by Honorable Afam Ogene, highlighted the need to also clearly ascertain which public agency has the legal responsibility of designing, producing, and issuing a driver's license. In the meantime, Joint Admission and Matriculation Board announced the plans to conduct a mop-up examination for candidates who were unable to sit for the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination due to various reasons. The Registrar and Chief Executive of JAM, Professor Shako Luide, announced this during a stakeholders meeting with chief external examiners, state technical advisors, and other key stakeholders in Abuja. Professor Luide also reviewed that the pressure arising from technical glitches experienced during the UTME in parts of the Southeast and Lagos State almost led him to reconsider stepping down and criticize the questioning the swift reshuffling and rescheduling of examination for affected candidates, explaining the tight academic calendar that UTME candidates must adhere to as reason. Luide further reiterated his commitment to integrity and national duty. National Hajj Commission of Nigeria says it has successfully lifted more than 79% of Nigerians' programs for the 2025 Hajj. In a statement signed by the Assistant Director of Information and Publication, Fatima Osari, on Wednesday, the Commission said it had lifted 32,549 intending programs through 79 flights since the airlift officially began on May 9, representing 79.1% of Nigerians' total Hajj containment. He said several states, including Adamawa and Plateau, had completed their airlift operations, while others like Bauchi and Gombe would wrap up, each having only 30 pilgrims left to fly. You're listening to Retrospect on Citizen 93.7 FM Abuja. We'll be right back after this break. Don't go away. Did you miss out on the news during the week? Not to worry. Retrospect is here to make up for the missed information. Retrospect is a complete package of all the major news headlines that made the airwaves from Sunday to Saturday. Join me, Esther Nwusu, on the program Retrospect on Citizen 93.7 FM Abuja every Sunday at 6 p.m. Retrospect. We keep you informed. It's good to know you're still there. It's still Retrospect on Citizen 93.7 FM Abuja. Now let's look at stories that made the headline for Thursday. Senate President Senator Godswill Akpabio on Thursday assured President Bola Tinubu that his re-election will be seamless in the 2023 election, unlike the 2027 election, unlike the competition he faced to win the seat in 2023. Akpabio said this while leading the leadership of National Assembly to pass a vote of confidence in Tinubu during the All Progressive Congress National Summit at the banquet hall of the Presidential Villa in Abuja on Thursday. Professor Nata Wayawada, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reductions, says 6 million Nigerians has benefited from federal government's conditional cash transfer program in 6 months. Yawada disclosed this while addressing beneficiaries of the ongoing Skills to Wealth training program on Thursday in Jos. The minister, who said that only 2 million Nigerians benefited from the program in the last 9 years, however, disclosed that the ministry has adopted a new approach The minister further added that 50 million Nigerians would be enrolled under the program by October. Nigerian Senate has passed the bill for establishment of Federal Medical Center at Dikpo in Benue State, sponsored by Senator Emmanuel Udendi, into law. The bill, whose third and final reading was unanimously approved by the Senate and a committee of a whole, seeks to establish a Federal Medical Center at Dikpo that will not only cater for the health needs of the people of Benue South, Northeast, a senatorial zone, but Benue State and Nigerians in general and beyond. The bill awaiting presidential assent seeks to bring medical care closer to the people, especially in times of emergency, and is according to the sponsor. According to him, the bill came on the heels of amendment to the Federal Medical Centers Act 2023. Top military officials, including several major generals, conveyed in Maiduguri, the Borno state capital, on Thursday, May 22nd, for the first 2025 annual conference organized by the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluide. This crucial meeting, which was held at the MSA Aliyu Hall, a command guest house of Mamara Containment, comes at a time when certain areas of the northeast, particularly Borno State, are experiencing a resurgence of Boko Haram sweep attacks and other criminal activities. According to Ishaku Dawa, chief staff members of the manufacturing company disclosed that each new Vanquish armored tankers boasts night Google visions, can move for over 80 kilometers on flat tires or suspension change at 360-degree protection. He stated that during the 3-day deliberations on topical issues, the Nigerian Army, under his leadership, aims to identify areas for improvement and develop practical solutions that will strengthen effectiveness in safeguarding the nation's peace and security. Assistant General of the Federation and Chief Executive Officer of the National Bureau of Statistics, Prince Adeyemi Aderan, on Wednesday announced plans to compare the gross domestic products data for each of Nigerian 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, by July 2025. Prince Aderan disclosed this in his keynote address at the maiden biannual meeting of the National Consultative Committee of Statistics held in Katsina State. He emphasized the importance of dedicating significant time and resources to the ongoing state's GDP exercise, which he said aligns with the theme of the sections promoting development at the sub-national level through improved state GDP compilation. He stressed the need for continued effort to finalize the pioneering initiative promptly, validate the results, and sensitize stakeholders ahead of data release. A significant process, according to him, has been made. And that was the end of the stories that made the headline for Thursday. Now let's look at stories that wasn't in the news for Friday. On Friday, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Toga, met with German counterpart Jan Woodpau in Berlin on Thursday in a bid to deepen economy and energy ties between Nigeria and Germany. Nigeria is Germany's second largest trading partner in sub-Saharan Africa. The German Foreign Minister has identified energy corporations as key area for bilateral economic relations. Sugar spoke about the need to intensify trade relations, particularly in critical raw materials, and proposed stronger collaborations in labor marginalization. As part of activities marking the Nigerian Navy's 69th anniversary, Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Manuel Ogala, commissioned 3 newly constructed places of worship in Nevitan, Asokoro, Abuja. Speaking at the commissioning ceremony, Vice Admiral Ogala underscored the importance of incorporating spiritual strategies into Nigeria's broader effort to address its security challenges, while acknowledging the continued relevance of military force in combating insurgents, terrorism, and other threats. He highlighted the vital role of spiritual fortifications in promoting peace and national security. The inauguration of the worship centers reflects the Navy's commitment to the moral and spiritual well-being of its personnel, reinforcing the belief that the inner strength and faith can contribute meaningfully to the fight against insurgents. In a proud moment for Nigerian, the Minister of Youth Development and Nigerian's Diaspora Commission Chairman CEO has celebrated a 12-year-old Eniola Sukobi, the Nigerian-American tech prodigy, who recently stunned the world with her inventions of revolutionary air filtration system. Eniola, accompanied by her mother and two sisters, visited the chairman, CEO of the Nigerian Diaspora Commission, however, Bike Dabirewa, as well as the Minister of Youth Development, Ayodele Olawande. Eniola, a Nigerian-American who has garnered international recognitions and secured $11.5 million in grants in Connect Court for her invention aimed at combating air pollution and improving respiratory health, was warmly welcomed by Honorable Abike Dabirewa and her team. The meeting highlighted the Commission's commitment to celebrating and supporting outstanding Nigerians and the diaspora and those at home. During the visit, Honorable Dabirewa praised Eniola's brilliance, resilience, and determination, describing her as a future. She further emphasized the importance of nurturing young innovators and building stronger pathways for Nigerian talents to thrive globally. And on that note, we'll look at stories that was in the news for Saturday. Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has announced that the Port Harcourt Refinery Company will undergo a scheduled maintenance shutdown from May 24, 2025. In a statement on Saturday by the Chief Corporate Communications Officer Femi Sunaya, NNPC Limited explained that the shutdown is part of a broader maintenance and sustainability assessment initiative aimed at enhancing the facility efficiency and long-term performance. NNPC Limited further assured that it's collaborating with relevant stakeholders to ensure a smooth and transparent process. In a timely commemorations of World Press Freedom Day 2025, the Federal Information Chapel of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, in collaboration with UNESCO office in Nigeria, hosted a two-day workshop focused on media and information literacy for public information and relations officers. Held at the Bolingo Hotel at Gallery Abuja, the event teamed reporting in the Brave New World, the impact of artificial intelligence on press freedom and the media, drew attention to ethical and operational challenges AI poses to modern journalism. Delivering the keynote on behalf of the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Alhaji Mohammed Idris, was Dr. Suleiman Haruna, Director of Public Relations and Protocol at the Ministry. He urged government communicators to remain unwavering in their commitment to truth, transparency, and professionalism in involving media ecosystem. In his welcome address, Mr. Albert Mandi, head of office and representative of UNESCO in Abuja, highlighted the organization's long-standing commitment to press freedom and the ethical use of emerging technologies. He further conveyed a powerful goodwill message from the UNESCO Director General, reflecting on the 2023 study, which found that over half the population relies primarily on digital platforms for news. The message called for vigilance as AI rapidly transforms global information system. Federal government has increased its gas production target to 12 billion cubic feet of gas production by 2030. Federal government's new 12 BCFT gas production target is from the 10 billion cubic feet of gas production previous target. This was reviewed by the Special Advisor to the President on Energy, represented by the team lead Gas Latif Baku, when Shell Nigerian Gas engaged more than 100 gas off-takers in the Abara Ota industry zones in Ogun State. A statement by NG sent to newsmen on Friday said the minister who used the opportunity to share the vision of government for the oil and gas industry. Said the vision is to unlock Nigerians' energy potential, to help fuel economic growth, to drive industrialization and help diversify the economy, adding that the aim is to attract investment to help raise oil and gas productions to 4 million barrels per day and 12 billion cubic feet of gas per day by 2030. Meanwhile, no fewer than 250 persons with disabilities across the country will receive grant worth 550 million naira to support their small businesses. The wife of the president and Nigerian First Lady Senator Oluremi Tinubu disclosed this at the RHI held on Friday at the International Conference Center in Umuahia, Abia State, where she oversaw the handover of food supplies to the state ROHI coordinator and wife of the state governor, Mrs. Priscilla Oti. She said that this is to help girls stay in school. Throughout their menstrual cycles, the Flow with Confidence program will distribute 10,000 packs of sanitary pad to young girls, particularly those in rural communities. Mrs. Tinubu, who was represented by the wife of the Vice President and Chairman and Vice Chairman of RHI, Haja Nana Shatima, said the program were designed to complement the renewed hope agenda of the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and to improve the lives of Nigerians across the country. Nigerian Army has neutralized 21 bandits in Shawa Forest located in Ruwan Godia Road in Fasaka local government area of Katsina State. This was contained in a statement signed on Saturday by the State Commissioner of Internal Security and Home Affairs, Dr. Nasiru Mauzu Dan Musa. According to the statement, troops of the 17th Brigade State Strike Group, the Nigerian Army, carried out a deliberate attack on terrorist enclaves as part of ongoing kinetic phase of Operations Forest Sanity 3. The operation resulted in the neutralization of several terrorists, including those swept away by rivers while trying to escape, and the decimalizations of the operational capacity. And that's our package for today on the program, Retrospect on Citizen 93.7 FM Abuja. You can follow us on our social media handles on Facebook at Citizen FM Abuja, on Instagram at Citizen FM 937, on Twitter now known as X at Citizen FM 937. You can also check us out on our website on citizenfm.ng. Let's make it a date, same time next week on the program Retrospect. I am Esther Musu. Thank you for listening and to have a great day. Out on the news during the week? Not to worry. Retrospect is here to make up for the missed information. Retrospect is a complete package of all the major news headlines that made the airwaves from Sunday to Saturday. Join me, Esther Musu, on the program Retrospect on Citizen 93.7 FM Abuja every Sunday at 6 p.m. Retrospect. We keep you informed.
The issues everybody respected that.